Hey guys, so today we're going to be trying some new makeup. I have gotten some really fun things in that I've been dying to try. So Dior sent me their Forever Skin Glow foundation in the shade 2N. They actually re-upped me on my favorite concealer in the shade 2N, and I'm so glad to have a new bottle because I was like scraping the bottom of the other one and it was getting really yucky. So I have a brand new concealer. I'm so excited. I just received the Laura Mercier Light Catcher loose setting powders, and I was fortunate enough to be invited to like a master class with these new powders, and they looked absolutely phenomenal. So I cannot wait to try these out. I also have the new Wong Goss eyeshadow palette, the Pearl palette, which I feel like isn't even new anymore, but it was just released. I didn't have a chance to film a dedicated video to this for that release day, but I thought I would throw it into this trying new makeup video because it is really gorgeous. I've used it a few times now and it's just beautiful. And I also ordered the Glossier Solar Paints. These are their luminous bronzer cremes, and I got two shades. I got Flare, and I also got Ray, which is a little deeper. So this one's Flare, this one's Ray. And then M Cosmetics sent over their bronzer and contour sticks along with their blush sticks. So since I have these Glossier Solar Paints, I think I'm just gonna use the blushes for today's video, but that'll be fun to pick one out. There seem to be a lot of shades, 1, 2, 3, 6 shades here, really beautiful. And what else? Anything else? I think that's it. I think we're just gonna play around with everything. I do also have the Chantecaille Orange Flower Water. I love their, it's sitting right out on my vanity. I love their pure rose water just to kind of freshen up, cool me down a little bit. I get very hot in the summertime. So I'm really interested in this one. Let's see. Oh, beautiful bottle, of course, beautiful packaging. And this is like a metal bottle here. Let's see, it's a face spritz scented with organic orange blossoms. Steam distilled to capture the powerful properties of the blossoms. Each spritz revives the spirit and senses with a soothing, fragrant mist that balances and refreshes the skin. Ooh, that's nice. Sometimes I don't get along with orange blossom. Sometimes I feel like it has a really kind of bitter, sort of like undertone to it, but this just smells really like just a very pretty kind of like light and bright kind of floral. Very subtle though, so nice. Wow, that feels so great. I was just running around like crazy, and it's, again, just so hot here. Oh, but that feels lovely. I'm just gonna press that into my skin. All right, so the Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation is what I'm going to apply first. Now, this is a trying new makeup video, but this is not a new product. It's only newish to me. I've used it once before. It's really lovely. I am just such a big fan of Dior foundations, I have to say. They really are long lasting, but they don't have a cakiness to them. They just wear really well, and they just look really seamless on the skin. So I'm gonna pump out about 1.5 pumps. I'm gonna go in with the Dior, I think this is the full coverage foundation brush. It's the number 12 brush. And again, I have it in the shade 2N. That seems to be like my Dior shade when it comes to foundations and concealers. I feel like whenever I use 2N, it just works. Even if I'm a little bit tanner, or I've used a little bit of self-tanner, like whatever's going on, I feel like 2N always seems to work. It just kind of brings it together. So I've had a little bit more experience with the like regular Dior Forever foundation. That's the one that has just a very skin-like sort of finish. This one has, you know, when it says skin glow, I thought, oh wow, I wonder if it's gonna be like really radiant. It's not, it just has this really kind of subtle pearly sheen. It's just very nice. And what I really like about it, at least the last time I wore it, when I wear it, you know, all day, let's say 8 hours or so, it doesn't get like more radiant. It's a very consistent, very long lasting foundation, which is its claim. It does claim to have a 24-hour wear. I haven't done that yet, but it does have a very long wear. It also has SPF 35, and it's a mixture of physical and chemical sunscreen, octinoxate, and titanium dioxide. So that's always good to have, a little extra coverage in terms of sun protection. Okay, so there it is applied to half of my face. And you can definitely build up this foundation, but I really like wearing it kind of like light medium. So I'm gonna stick to that one light layer and just finish applying to my face here. And this foundation brush is interesting. It has a round shape to the ferrule, but I feel like the brush is kind of more oval. In any case, when I see this shaped brush, I kind of want to buff, you know, in circular motions, but this actually, I think, works better like swiping, like kind of like a typical old school foundation brush, like the ones that are flatter and you swipe with them. This one I feel like works better that way versus kind of going in and buffing. Okay, so I do have a bunch of cream products. I'm wondering if I should go in with them now or try them over powder. I guess I'll go in with them now. So I've got the two Glossier solar paints. Let me do some quick swatches of these. They're a teensy bit thicker than I thought. They're not thick, but they're thicker than I thought. I thought they were gonna be really kind of light. So this is Ray and this is Flare. I think I actually like Ray a little bit more. This one looks a little bit on the warmer side, and they both have a really beautiful metallic sheen. Ooh, okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to just put the product onto the back of my hand, and I've got my Chantecaille foundation and mask brush. I'm gonna pick up some of the product on the brush here, just from the back of my hand, and just from my hairline, kind of sweep down a little bit. Just gonna blend that in so it doesn't look so stripy. Ooh, but that Ray is a beautiful shade. Oh wow, I think that works really well as a contour, and I think it's gonna work really well as a bronzer too. So here it is applied, and nothing here. Subtle but effective. Oh, that's pretty. I really like the tone of this Ray, and the sheen to this is really nice and subtle too. It's not like metallic at all. It's just a really nice kind of like satin kind of sheen. I think with whatever is left over on my brush, I'm just going to lightly brush to my forehead here. All right, very pleased with these Glossier solar paints. Yeah, awesome. Okay, moving on to blush. So let's try these M Cosmetics. What is the proper name? So Soft Blush. So again, there are 6 shades. Here are the 6 shades. So this is what the packaging looks like. Really pretty, like matte plastic baby pink. It twists up and down like so. So here are the 6 shades swatched on my arm. From left to right, I have Baby, Lychee, Pearl Tea, Passion, Venetian Rose, and Bitten. So I think I want to use Pearl Tea. This looks like a really pretty, slightly warm, like nude shade. I think I'm gonna go for this one. Let me see if there's any advice as to how to apply these. It doesn't say. Okay, so these are available for $30 at mcosmetics.com. They're cruelty-free, gluten-free, enriched with squalane and vitamin E, air-whipped mousse-like texture. Okay, I'm just gonna go with my finger. Let's see how that's gonna work. So again, this is Pearl Tea, and ooh, yeah, very creamy texture. And just gonna blend right in. Ooh, pretty. And this works beautifully with the Ray Glossier bronzer that I put on. It's like just a little bit rosier than that. Ooh, I really like the texture, and I like how they blend it in. They look cloud-like for sure. Like a lot of the M Cosmetics products, I'm realizing, it has like a really cloud-like appearance to it, like her, is it Heaven's Glow? Those blushes, those baked blushes, it gives you this sort of like light, kind of like fluffy look to your cheeks. All right, and as for highlighter, I do want to use these new Laura Mercier Light Catcher loose powders, but I want to go ahead and powder my face a little bit, only because I'm so sweaty today. So I don't have any new powder. I'm just gonna go in with the Dior. This is the Forever Cushion powder, and I have it in the shade Light. And I remember when I first got this, it was not quite as warm as it is now. And I thought it was a little too, or you just had to be really, really careful. Otherwise, it became very, very mattifying very quickly. But I think now I need something like that. So I'm gonna go in with this loose powder, which comes in what looks like a compact, I don't know, cushion compact. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I have shown this on my channel before. I'm gonna go in with a fluffy powder brush here. This is the Chantecaille one. And I'm just gonna dust my forehead, my nose. Yeah, it gives me a really kind of like velvety matte finish, but like I said, I mean, I usually like a dewy kind of look, but I just feel so, so sweaty that this is actually kind of welcome. All right, let's go in with these Laura Mercier light catchers. So they came out with 3 shades: Celestial Light, Honey Star, and Cosmic Rose. Here are the swatches of them from left to right. So Celestial Light is on the left, and that is for, you know, fair to light skin tones. It is very, very pearly. The middle one is Honey Star, and that is, I think, great for light, medium skin tones, and that has more of like a golden kind of sheen to it. And then we have Cosmic Rose, which has a rose tinge to it, and that one is probably better suited for medium to deeper skin tones, or you can use it as like a blush topper. So what I do want to point out in terms of the packaging is the Celestial Light has like a chrome top, the Honey Star has a golden top, and the Cosmic Rose has a pink top. So if you decide to get all 3, you will be able to differentiate them, which is really, really nice. So what I am gonna do, and I think I mentioned this in the intro, I did attend like a Laura Mercier masterclass where they really featured these light catcher powders, and they just looked phenomenal. The makeup artist that was running the class was Nam Vo, and I'll leave her Instagram down below in my description box. I've been following her for a long time, and she just does really, her looks are kind of understated, but they're always really glowy, and like I feel like her looks look like you're glowing from within versus like there's just a light shining on you. Like hers are, it's a very kind of like from inside out, just gorgeous. So she mixed the Celestial Light and the Honey Star together. And while I'm mixing these two together, something I wanted to pass along to you guys, people are asking how this was different from their loose translucent setting powder Glow. And they were saying that what they used for the sheen in this are 5 different sized pearl bits in here. So you get some that really meld into the skin, you get some that kind of sit on top, and it's just as like bright as the Glow, but it's not quite as like in your face. It has more of like a bright satin sheen versus kind of like a metallic sheen. So this powder also can be used all over your face. I am not going to use it all over my face. I feel like maybe that's a little too much. I'm really just going to use it as highlighter. And I wanted to use the Sonia G Lotus set. This is another like new brush set from Sonia G that I meant to do a video on, but I just ran out of time. So anyway, thought I would incorporate it here. I'm gonna use the detail brush. So this is the mixed hair angled brush. And just gonna hit the high points here. Can you see that? It's, you know, it's bright and it's noticeable, but do you see how it just has like this really kind of like pearly sheen versus like this metallic glittery sheen? This does not have any micro glitters in there. It's much smoother than that. It's really, really beautiful. And then I'm going to use Cosmic Rose as a little bit of a blush topper here because it's a little bit too deep for my skin tone to use as a highlight. So I'm going to use it very sparingly, just on the apples of my cheeks here. Let me angle up to the light. And just brush some back a little bit. These powders are really, really gorgeous. Really gorgeous. I feel like this is a very kind of like updated. I feel like in terms of highlight, I have been leaning more towards ones that are a little bit more subtle and ones with like a finish like this, where it really just looks like crushed pearl versus metallic foil. I feel like these just, you know, kind of just blend into my skin, into my base, into the other products that I have on. I feel like it just blends in really beautifully. Very seamless. All right, I'm just gonna use my newest eyebrow product, which is the Persona Swipe Up Brow Gel. I've just really been enjoying this. I have it in the shade Charcoal, and it's such a great shade match for my brows. And it has such a nice touch to its hold. It's not too stiff, but it's also not too loose. Really good. I've really been enjoying it. All right, and next up, I want to use the new Goss Pearl Palette. This palette is so beautiful. It's just so user-friendly. I feel like, you know, it's got so many great basic colors in there. There's 4 mattes. There is 1 satin shade right up here, and then this one is a top coat. So here are some swatches of this palette. I just went from left to right, top to bottom. And they're silky smooth. They blend beautifully. If you have experience with Wayne's previous palettes, you won't be surprised by this one. The quality is there. The pigmentation is there. It's not overly pigmented. I feel like they're buildable, but you just get a really nice, soft look. But it's not soft in that it's patchy in any way. It just is a really sort of elegant kind of palette. So I'm gonna use the Sonia G Lotus Set eye brushes. So we've got the Builder brush, which is like a flat shader brush. We have the Soft Definer brush, which is a great sort of brush for impact or like inner corner. And then we have the Worker brush, which is like one of my favorites. So I'm gonna take the Builder brush. I'm gonna go into the satin shade here, number 2. And I'm applying this pretty much all over my lid. I just love this shade so much. It's like a beautiful, kind of like warm champagne shade. And the satin finish to it is gorgeous. And this would, in fact, in my humble opinion, make a really great one and done shadow. If you just want to add that to your lids, gorgeous. And Wayne has mentioned that these were shades that he used constantly over and over again for bridal looks. So for me, bridal looks are just very pretty, they're very wearable, and I feel like they're almost the same, like what I would consider to be like everyday look, like looks that you could wear to work. All right, and since my look, I feel like is definitely more on the neutral side, my cheeks have just sort of like a brownish tinge to them, I'm just gonna go in with the brown shade here just to deepen up the outer corners. But the gray and the pink, if you're doing something a little bit cooler, the pink is great if you're doing something a little bit more, I don't know, feminine. But I'm gonna go in with the brown, and I've got the Worker brush here. And just adding that to the outer corners here. These shadows are so easy to work with. Look how easy that is to blend. And I'm actually gonna go back to the Laura Mercier Celestial Light loose powder. This is the lightest shade. I'm just gonna pick some up with the Soft Definer brush and apply some to the inner corner here. So there it is with and without. I feel like really brightens up the whole eye. And then I'm gonna take the same Soft Definer brush and go into the brown shade here, the same one that I used on the outer corner, and just drag a little bit my lower lash line. All right, so that is it for eyeshadow. I'm gonna curl my lashes. I don't have a new mascara, and I'm still unpacking. I was digging around for the Goss mascara because that has been my favorite. Ever since I got that, I have not been able to put it down, but I can't find it right now. So I'm gonna go in with the Victoria Beckham Future Lash Mascara. All right, and for lips, so again, when I was on that masterclass for Laura Mercier, the makeup artist actually used her cream cheek colors as lips. And I have never, as much as I'm a fan of cream blushes, I've never tried the Laura Mercier ones. So I was so excited to get a few from them. So here is Praline. I think this is probably the closest one. I think this is probably, yeah, the closest shade to something I'd want to use. Pretty much nude, a little bit of peach, but they also sent over Rosebud and Oleander. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Praline. And I think these pop out. They have this little like frame here. I think you can just pop these out. I guess they're refillable. Yeah, I don't know much about these Laura Mercier cream blushes, but like I said, I saw the makeup artist use these on the model's lips, and I was like, yes. So I'm gonna go in with Praline. I'm just gonna warm this up with my finger a bit. Just tap on. Sometimes I find products that can be used on cheeks and lips. Sometimes I find them a little bit too drying for lips because, you know, when you apply them to the cheek, they kind of set down to like a powder finish, and I don't want that to happen on my lips. I don't want it to set down to a powder finish. I feel like that feels very dry, and I have very dry lips. So I'm gonna let this kind of sit on my lips a little bit and just see how it feels. But I do love that shade. I bet they have this shade in a lipstick. She has a huge shade range in her lipsticks. You know what this feels like? This feels like one of those really like silicone-based lipsticks that are like a soft matte. That's what this feels like on the lips. Add like a lip gloss. Yeah, let me add something like this. This is Cosmic from Laura Mercier. This is the Lip Glacé, and I think this will be a nice little topper. Very strong, like birthday cake scent. Oh, that feels great now. Okay, well, there is my final look trying some new makeup. I really like everything that I tried. These loose powders are so beautiful. They're just gorgeous. All three of the shades you can find use for. I feel like no matter what your skin tone is, they're just absolutely gorgeous. And that really kind of like bright but smooth and pearly finish. It's so good. The Goss palette is really, really gorgeous. All the colors work beautifully. I've used all of them at this point, even though today I only used 2, but they're just beautiful. The M Cosmetics blush so far, I feel like it looks nice, and I'm really impressed with the Glossier Solar Paint. I feel like they did such a nice job doing like a subtle contour, and because the shade was like kind of right in the middle there, I feel like it bronzed up my face too. It's really lovely. This foundation looks really great. I love that it has a slight bit of radiance, but it's not too much. It's not like something I feel like I have to powder down. And this orange flower water from Chantecaille was quite lovely as like a little pre-makeup mist. It was very, very refreshing. Oh, and of course, the Sonia G Lotus set. I'm actually surprised that it's still available because I know it's limited edition. And when I wasn't able to create a video dedicated to this right for the day of the launch, I was like, oh, forget it, it's gonna sell out. But it's still available. So if you're into collectible, beautiful makeup brushes handmade in Japan, definitely take a look at these brushes. It's a beautiful set too. There are a lot of makeup brush sets out there where I feel like, I'd use, 7 out of 10 of those brushes, or I'd use like 3 out of 5. All of the brushes in Sonia G's sets I think are always just very, very useful, like just so well thought out. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.